Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn, and for today's topic, I'm going to discuss the latest arrival guide for US passengers going to the Philippines. This is also a video for first-time travelers, or if you are a foreign tourist or a spouse of a Filipino, if you are a foreign national, or if you just wanted to retire in the Philippines, then this video is for you. I'm going to discuss the immigration entry requirements, the standard health protocol, also important tips for domestic travel, and other important information that you needed to know before your flight. Here are some of the important tips from those who have arrived in the Philippines just recently. These are based on the comments they posted on some of my videos. So before you leave your departure point, print off everything and upload it to the One Health Pass. This means you must upload your negative test and proof of vaccination. Also make copies of all travel documents. Another important tip: if you're arriving at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, if you are pregnant, have a disability, or if you are an elderly, you will be fast-tracked and only need to show the QR code from the One Health Pass. Also, mask wearing is mandatory in all public areas. If you go to many restaurants, they will ask you for your vaccine card. And lastly, for domestic travel, there will be checkpoints asking you where you are going and will have to ask you for vaccine card. Also, all passengers must use the One Health Pass within 3 days of flying to the Philippines. In addition, your negative test and your proof of vaccination must also be uploaded in the One Health Pass. Let me repeat, all passengers to the Philippines will need to register through the One Health Pass within 3 days of arrival, but I would recommend to register once you get your negative test on the date of your departure. Here is the actual website, onehealthpass.com.ph, and here is the dashboard. Just click OK and then find the One Register blue icon and then proceed with registration. Now, who needs to be fully vaccinated to enter Philippines? All foreign nationals must be fully vaccinated, such as foreign tourists, former Filipino citizens, foreign spouse, and foreign child. There are exceptions for foreign minor child. Some airlines will require you to use the Traze Mobile Application, so I would recommend to download the Traze Mobile app for contact tracing. So I'm not sure if the Philippines will still require this, but some airlines require it. For those of you who are asking if the CDC card is acceptable in the Philippines, the answer is yes. The CDC card falls under the acceptable proof of vaccination that has reciprocity agreement with the Philippine government. So your CDC card is acceptable. For all minor children, whether Filipino or non-Filipino, here are the rules. For those 12 years of age below or 0 to 11 years of age, you must follow the vaccination status of your parents. Please take note, if you are a foreign national, unvaccinated, you cannot enter the Philippines. For minor children, whether Filipino or non-Filipino, 12 to 17 years of age, you must follow your vaccination status. However, parents must accompany unvaccinated minor children 12 to 17 years of age for purposes of quarantine. There is a 5-day facility-based quarantine for unvaccinated. Also, for fully vaccinated, you must comply with the vaccination requirement. You must receive the second dose in a 2-dose series or a single dose more than 14 days prior to your flight. Also, the vaccine must be included in the emergency listing or list of compassionate special permit issued by the Philippine FDA or emergency use listing of the World Health Organization. Also, please remember, for foreign nationals, proof of recovery from COVID is not acceptable as of this time. I haven't heard any announcement from the Philippine government if proof of recovery would be acceptable in the near future. All foreign nationals who are fully vaccinated do not need to undergo facility-based quarantine. The only requirement is that you must self-monitor for symptoms for 7 days. Let's talk about the standard health protocols for foreign nationals going to the Philippines. U.S. citizens do not need a visa to enter Philippines, but there are those who opted to get a 9A visa. The requirements are you must be fully vaccinated, you must also carry an acceptable proof of vaccination such as the CDC Card, you must also present a negative RT-PCR test within 48 hours or a negative antigen test within 24 hours. You must have a passport valid for at least 6 months. Also, you must have a return or onward ticket not later than 30 days. And a COVID travel insurance with 35,000 minimum coverage. Here are the requirements for former Filipino citizens traveling alone. First, you must be fully vaccinated. In addition, you must possess an acceptable proof of vaccination such as the CDC Card. In addition, you must also have a negative RT-PCR test within 48 hours or negative antigen test within 24 hours. Also, you must have a passport valid for at least 6 months. For those traveling with foreign child or children, and these are for U.S. citizens who are former Filipino citizens. First, unvaccinated minor below 12 will follow parents' vaccination status. Minor 12 to 17 must follow their own vaccination status, and parent must accompany child during quarantine if unvaccinated. Also, the U.S. child can enter without visa. You must also present a negative RT-PCR test within 48 hours or negative antigen test within 24 hours. Also, you must have a valid passport for at least 6 months at the time of your arrival. Let's move on to the requirements for those traveling with a foreign spouse. Okay, these are the requirements for the foreign spouse. So this only pertains to those U.S. citizens who are married to former Filipino citizens. You don't need a visa. Also, you must be fully vaccinated and possess an acceptable proof of vaccination. CDC Card is acceptable. You must also present a negative RT-PCR test within 48 hours or negative antigen test within 24 hours. In addition, you must have a valid passport for at least 6 months. Here are the requirements for a foreign spouse traveling alone. So if you are a U.S. citizen married to a former Filipino, you don't need a visa. Also, you must be fully vaccinated and you must carry an acceptable proof of vaccination. You must also present negative RT-PCR test or negative antigen test. You must also have a passport valid for at least 6 months. In addition, you must have a travel insurance if you are married to a former Filipino and you are not traveling together. Here are the requirements for U.S. citizens with valid Philippine immigrant visa or 13A visa. First, you must be fully vaccinated. You must also possess an acceptable proof of vaccination such as the CDC Card, and you must present a negative RT-PCR test within 48 hours or negative antigen test within 24 hours. You must have a passport valid for at least 6 months at the time of arrival. And these are the requirements for U.S. citizens with valid non-immigrant visa except a 9A visa. If you have a valid student visa or temporary employment or a valid SRRV, you must be fully vaccinated. You must possess an acceptable proof of vaccination and present negative RT-PCR test or negative antigen test. You must also have a passport valid for at least 6 months. Here are the immigration entry requirements. You actually have 2 options. First, you must have your foreign passport plus your valid or old Philippine passport. If you don't possess an old or valid Philippine passport, you must have a valid or authentic Philippine birth certificate for purposes of proving your former Filipino citizenship. For former Filipinos or Filipinos traveling with their foreign spouse, the foreign spouse must present their foreign passport plus authentic marriage certificate. If traveling with a foreign child, foreign passport plus authentic birth certificate. For adopted child, foreign passport plus adoption certificate. Visa-free privileges for foreign nationals married to Filipino or former Filipino traveling together under EO 408. Also, you must present an authentic marriage certificate. Also, report of marriage is not required to enter in the Philippines. In addition, for all U.S. citizens going to the Philippines, you can also register at the U.S. Embassy for U.S. citizen services. If you are going to use your debit card or credit card in the Philippines, please contact your bank or add an alert travel system, such as alerting the bank that you will use your debit card or credit card in the Philippines, so your card won't be declined when you use it in the Philippines. Here are the latest COVID isolation rules in the Philippines for both vaccinated or fully vaccinated or partially vaccinated or unvaccinated. So there are two categories. First, quarantine if you are a close contact, 5 days for fully vaccinated and 14 days for partially vaccinated or unvaccinated. Please take note there will be strict observance of health protocols up to 14 days or monitoring up to 14 days. The rules are different if you are COVID positive and you must isolate. Here are the rules for fully vaccinated. First, you must undergo 7 days of isolation from onset of symptoms or positive test. If you are partially vaccinated or unvaccinated, it will be 10 days of isolation from onset of symptoms or positive test. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.